This video contains spoilers for Stranger Things Season 1. Friends don't lie. And with that, welcome to my review of... or should I say, The Upside Down. This box is as cool as the set itself, right? You can flip it around and have it in either orientation, really. It always works. It depicts Joyce's, Jonathan's, and Will's house from Season 1 and both versions, right? Real life and the Upside Down. Pretty cool box design. I like that a lot. Pretty cool concept behind the set. If you're just getting into Stranger Things, I'll try to keep the spoilers at a minimum so you can still enjoy Season 1. If you're here because you are about to buy the Creel house for next year's release, right? January 1st, we get a new Lego set, a new Stranger Things Lego set to celebrate the finale of Season 5 or the ultimate season, right? But this set also exists. Came out in 2019 and this video should maybe help you try to make an informed decision when it comes to, do I want to get this as well? Retired in 2021 and retailed for $199.99 in both dollars and euros. In British pounds it was $179.99, right? 2,287 pieces designed by Justin Ramsden. He made other stuff, other cool stuff I have. For example, Thor's apartment. I like this one a lot. Also came with this little sign, right? The new Asgard. Pretty cool. He also made these briquettes, both the anniversary edition as well as obviously the normal edition. And there's one more thing. Recent pickup, he also made this, Welcome to Apocalypseburg. Pretty expensive on the aftermarket. Usually goes for around 700. I paid 500. It's still in box. I can't wait to build that. Cool set. Which brings us back to this set and its aftermarket price. I paid around $260, has minor box damage, was still sealed though. I usually see it for around $300. The rest of the box shows you the minifig selection up top right here. And if you turn it around, you see some of the details inside as well as the feature, the flip, right? The main thing this set has going for it. But I think we've seen enough of the box. Once you crack it open, you find 11 numbered bags inside, as well as one that's unnumbered. You'll also find, unfortunately, this sticker sheet. And if you think, oh man, I love stickers, I wish there were even more, don't worry, there's a second sticker sheet. This one, it's the same, but the upside down version of it, right? That does make sense. For my personal taste, way too many stickers. I'm not a big fan. They are cool, and I like that there are different versions. But still, you also get two instruction manuals, both for the real life version as well as the upside down version. Inside you find an interesting write-up. The first one focuses more on the actual show and the characters inside of it. The second manual introduces you to the set designers and gives you some insight into how they came up with this idea to have a Lego set that can actually do the flip, as they call it. But enough about instructions, enough about the box. Let's take a look at it. Here it is. And doesn't it look amazing? I think this is such a cool design decision to have a Lego set that can flip and have both sides, the upside down and the real world, depicted at the same time, which is, yeah, this is really cool. And interesting side note, if you want to display this on a Billy bookcase, you need to either adjust your shelves or remove some of these tiles, otherwise it won't quite fit. But obviously this set has a party trick up its sleeve, so without further ado, let's do the flip. And there you go. Really easy, but cool effect, especially with the car that is now hanging upside down, right? This is Hopper's Chevy Blazer, if I'm not mistaken. There's a Technic pin inside which just holds it in place. The outside is, yeah, beautiful. I love all the blue and gray on the upside down version. Obviously you can pose Will there. The first episode of Stranger Things Season 1 is called The Vanishing of Will Byers. He spends most of that season in the upside down with the Demogorgon, so you can pose him here with his frightened expression. We'll talk about the minifigs in a second. But basically everything that you'd find in the real life version is also present in the Upside Down, with the exception of the car, which is just not there. But yeah, let's have a closer look at it. Zoom in a little. We find Will's bike, which he did not take with him into the Upside Down. The house is number 149 in both versions. There you have Hopper hanging out on the porch. You even have the newspaper in the windows, which is a pretty cool detail. That's the outside. I think we are ready to turn it around. And on the other side, we have two rooms per version of the house, right? In the middle, pretty large, the buyer's living room. And then you have Will's room as well over here. Maybe start with his room. Take a closer look at his posters he has hung up there. Obviously, he's into Dungeons and Dragons. There's a Ghetto Blaster as well. These kids are all one party of Dungeons and Dragons players, with Mike being their game master. And Will is always Will the Wise, right? He's a magician, a sorcerer in the show, or rather in Dungeons and Dragons when they play that. And Will is always drawing stuff. You also have a nice Lego version of a Jaws poster right here. Says Shark on there, and then there's his Ghetto Blaster and the rest of his room. Obviously, the Ghetto Blaster music is really important in Stranger Things in general. In season 1, it's the Clash's Should I Stay or Should I Go, which they play over and over again, and Will is singing it to himself while he is alone in Castle Byers in the Upside Down. The living room has our first actual play feature, if you want to call it that. Something pretty cool, I think. There is this light brick, and you can turn that on, and then it shines a light on certain letters. This is the way Joyce found she could communicate with Will, right? She buys all these Christmas lights to hang them around all over the house, and then figures out, okay, Will is somewhere here, somewhere in the walls. He's not far away, he's just in a different dimension, which is basically what the Upside Down is. Then you have this cool missing person poster, right? It says, "Have you seen me, Will Byers, age 12, approximately 1.5 inches tall." And then a phone. Phones are really important. Joyce goes through many phones in season 1 because they tend to explode. Later on in the show, they'll use the axe as well as this bear trap. And then in this living room next to the green chair, you have another Easter egg. Unfortunately, it's a sticker element. I wish this was printed, right? It's this blue tile that has the Dungeons of Dragons rulebook on it. And then in the attic, you find 3 more items. There's Will's sorcerer's hat. There is a video camera. And then all the way behind there, you find some of Will's drawings, right, of the Mind Flayer, which is a pretty cool detail. On the side, you find another sticker element, which shows us a missing person, and she's also a missing minifig because she still has not gotten the Lego treatment. This is Bob, Barbara Holland. She's gone missing. Won't spoil any of that. There is a Lego minifig of her, but it's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I looked it up this morning, and €700 if you just want that one minifig. But it's pretty cool, and I'm really tempted. I'll think about that. Let's have one more look at these sticker details over here, where it shows you some of the stone work, right? I wish they'd print these elements. They could use them in so many more sets. I think most of the current Hogwarts modular castle kind of deal sets, they all use a sticker element like this. And I think if they just print that, they could use it wherever, whenever, which would be so much better. But yeah, I mean, please, Lego, just print that. One more thing, let's take a look at the car. As I said, it is held in place by this Technic pin right here. It's really boxy, right? I mean, in a way, it is accurate to the show because it's just a very boxy car. A Chevrolet Blazer. Obviously, the number plate is also a sticker. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I don't really like this car a lot. The Hawkins police signs, they're also both stickers. I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I wish it was cooler. Small Easter egg, there is a pumpkin in the back of the car, right? At some point, Hop inspects a pumpkin patch and realizes that all of the pumpkins are rotting. Obviously has something to do with the Upside Down. But let's put the car back on, if I can find the attachment. Yes, I can. And we'll do the flip one more time. Here we go. Let's maybe start with the outside. We've already talked about the front. We haven't talked about this part, right? There is another Barbara Holland sticker, another missing person sticker. This time it's distressed, right? So obviously it doesn't look as clean, as pristine as its version in the real world. This is what the house looks like in the Upside Down. There is no light brick for this version though. This is where Will would be hanging out and he would just turn on the lights, so you don't really necessarily need another light brick to depict that scene. But basically it's the same stuff, just yeah, distressed, just the upside down version of it. Start with Will's room. You find another version of that shark jaws sticker, this time in black and white, a little distressed. You find his ghetto blaster and the same posters he had on his wall. In the living room, you see that there's some more plant life creeping into the buyer's house. You find that there's another version of the Christmas lights, just this time without any color, which is pretty cool. There's also Will's missing person poster again, just a distressed version of that. And the rule book for D&D is also black and white, but it is present. And that's basically it for the build. What is interesting to point out, these plans, right, they can rotate. So whenever you do the flip, they rotate as well, and then gravity pulls them down, which is, yeah, a cool Easter egg, a cool effect, something neat to have in a Lego set. Let's talk about the minifigs. And let's maybe start with Will Byers. After all, Stranger Things kind of is about him, right? He does play a major role in the latest season right now. I won't spoil any more. But season 1 is about him, right? It's about him vanishing, him not being there anymore. I like this minifig a lot. I like his scared impression. I like the torso. I like that the arms have different colors. I don't necessarily think that he would have needed arm printing, though I would always like to see some more additional details. I think his hair is pretty much spot on, and all the kids have the medium legs. They're not the shortest legs Lego makes. These can articulate at least a little bit, and of course he does have a secondary expression as well, not as scared, more worried. I like that they included his beauty mark on both versions of the head as well. Moving on to the next fig, maybe talk about his mother. This is Joyce Byers, portrayed by Winona Ryder, as far as I remember. I like the printed tile she's holding, another one of Will's drawings. She comes with a flashlight. I think the hair is pretty much spot on. I do like her expression. I don't think this is exclusive to her. The torso does look a lot like her character in Stranger Things. Wish it had arm printing, wish it had leg printing, but at least she has a secondary expression, which again, not as worried, not as scared as the first one. That's Joyce. Maybe talk about the Demogorgon next. And this is a really cool minifigure, right? I mean, the head alone is fantastic. And if his head element looks familiar to you, then yes, you have seen this before. The unprinted version of it is part of the orchid in the Lego Botanicals line. The legs are pretty cool. I like that this one has leg printing. I like the claws, right? These Wolverine claws, has back printing. And Easter egg, if you remove the headpiece, you find underneath there is a closed up version of it, which is pretty cool. So you can have both versions of the Demogorgon displayed. Which brings us to the minifig of the other grown-up in this set. This is Jim Hopper. He comes with his coffee cup and a cool hat. And yeah, he does look like that in the show. It does look like that in season 1. In his police uniform, unfortunately, if you have a hat piece like that, you cannot include a second expression. That's a little unfortunate. But other than that, yeah, pretty happy with him as well. Wish he had arm printing, wish he had leg printing. The rest of the figures you can handily display on this little plaque, right? It does come with space for 4 minifigs. I just put 4 of the kids down here. This is a big sticker element though, and that is unfortunate, right? Where it says Stranger Things on there. Let's move on to 11, who comes with a skirt piece, which is pretty cool. She also comes with a waffle, right? She's addicted to Eggos in the show. Her minifig does have a wig on, right? She's very short hair and then finds a wig in, I think, Nancy's stash. Nancy, unfortunately, not included in this set, and neither is Steve the Hare Harrington, which is, you know, that's my favorite character. but he'll be in the Creel house and we'll talk about him then. This is a cool 11 minifig. It is accurate to the show. She does wear a pink dress and a jacket on top. Unfortunately, she does not have a secondary expression, which is a bummer. Let's move on to Mike Wheeler. He comes with a flashlight as well as his little radio. Yeah, torso looks accurate, also medium legs. Wish he had arm printing, wish he had leg printing. I like the hair though, and he also comes with an alternate expression, which makes him look less angry, which is pretty cool. Lucas next, so we can save the best for last. Lucas comes with a slingshot, which is part of the actual story and a different style of torch. I really like his head accessory, right? This bandana is pretty cool. Nicely printed torso that looks really good. Wish he had arm printing, wish he had leg printing, but again, on the medium length legs, Lego usually does not like printing on them. And finally, my favorite minifig out of all of them in this set, and one of my favorite characters, this is Dustin. They made a new hat hair decoration for him. I like his smile, his toothless smile. He comes with a compass as well as a radio. I like the torso, looks pretty good. I like the one he comes in the Creel house even more. That's gonna be a Hellfire Club t-shirt. I'm looking forward to that. He'll have his head hairpiece again. They recolored it for the Creel house. Dustin has an alternate expression as well, a little less friendly, a little more worried. Does fit him overall though very well, I feel like, especially in combination with that fantastic head accessory. That is all the minifigs. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. It's probably gonna be Dustin. Everybody loves Dustin. And that brings me to the question, should you buy this set in 2026? Well, are you a big Stranger Things set? Have you seen the show multiple times? Are you getting Creel House? Do you want 2 Lego sets that depict the same show, Stranger Things, the first season, the last season, side by side? Then yeah, it's really good. I like it a lot. It's a cool set. Is it 300 euros or dollars cool? Kind of depends on your wallet, I'd say. I was happy I did not have to pay 300. At 260, I think it's a no-brainer. Maybe you'll just have to shop around a little bit. But I mean, it does look cool and it is unique, right? There are not many flippable Lego sets out there. And there are not that many Lego sets based on Stranger Things. It's this, it's Creel House, and then it's just a bunch of brickheads. If you want the minifigs, if you want the gang as children, they're not in Creel House, right? They're all grown up there. So these are the only minifig versions of the children as actual children, if you want that. And if you like this video, I would very much appreciate it if you could hit that like button. If you want to support the channel even more, please consider subscribing. It's free. There's also a bell which you could hit to get all my notifications. Leo Eisel, you did that. You're a true renter. Thank you so much. I wish you all the merriest of Christmas, and I'll see you in 2026. Bye-bye.
Welcome to my ant card. This is just a hangout. Yeah, I'm a crank that shit. Bro, that's so damn loud. It's nothing but a little intermission. Enjoy these soothing bars of utter indecision. Buddy people, you can trust me. It's an ant card. I know all those fire jokes get you saying hard. It's an ant card. This shit ain't some voodoo, bro. I know you want to stay, but it's time for you to go.